Shalom, shalom. This your boy Raya Allah coming at you with another lesson. But first and foremost, we definitely gotta give all praises to the Heavenly Father and the Lashawan Quadash. We're gonna start off by saying Call, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, Rakah, Quadash, Ma'amah. Definitely want to give double honor to the apostle JMS and their elders. Definitely want to give honor to my elders, Zaquan, Harwan, Banyas Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located in Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom to the sincere Akim Akwafim that believe in sincerity and truth. Shalom. Today's lesson is based a spiritual hydration based off of faith. Right. So this is Proverbs 3:5, and it reads, "Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding." Right. So I want to bring this out first because a lot of our people really trust in themselves. That's really where their faith lies, in themselves, especially with these Christianity doctrines and the brainwashing of our pastors that they have put on our people. Right? They really are stuck on themselves. They really don't know the Most High Yahweh, and they definitely don't know who Yahweh Shai is. Right? So lean not unto your own understanding. Right? Lean not into the understanding of these false doctrines. Right? And have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and ask him to provide you the wisdom, the true wisdom, and lead you to the right prophets. Because there are prophets on the earth right now bringing out this truth, right? But our people are being stiff-necked as always, and they're going to get caught up in the destruction, right, in the day of judgment. Right? It says, verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Right? How can you acknowledge him if you don't know him? How can you acknowledge him if you don't know his true name? Right? You're giving acknowledgement to a false deity. Anytime you bring up the name Jehovah or Yahweh, even when you just say God, right? You're not giving the proper praises to the Most High, right? Because his true name is Yahweh, right? And his son's true name is Yahweh Shai, almost just like the scriptures say, right? So how can you know them if you don't know their name? How can you know them if you don't know their especially if you don't know Yahweh's requirements? Right? When you jump up to the top of this, in verse 1, it says, "My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments." Right? So everybody has forgotten the commandments. I mean, some people know some of the commandments, but they don't have the full wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They don't know all the 613 laws. Right? Our people are still out here eating pork, something simple as that. Still out here eating shrimp. Right? But in their minds, they think they're in good case. Right? Because they're leaning on their own understanding and not leaning on the understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Right? And the words being brought through this book, through the spirit, right? That's being brought out by the prophets, right? Which is the truth. Right? But our people have a hard time understanding it, and they're stuck in their folly. Right? It says, verse 7, "Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord Yahweh, and depart from evil." How can you depart from evil, right, if you don't know him? How can you depart from evil if you don't know the commandments? How can you depart from evil if you don't believe? How can you depart from evil without praying for forgiveness in the proper true names? Who are you praying to? Right. So from there, let's jump to Ephesians real quick. We're going to go to chapter 2. Let's start from the top. And it reads, "And you have he quickened who were dead in trespass and sins." Right? Going into how we all were basically in a Gentile state of mind, especially today. Right? All of us until the truth was, until the spirit was put on them. Right? And then the Lord blessed them with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? We all was in that sinful state, that dead in trespass and in sins. Right, verse 2, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world. Right, and that's the reason why we do videos. That's the reason why we try to bring this truth out to our people, to bring them out of that lustful worldly mindset. Right, because we all was there at some point. Right, I grew up in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Right, and they teaching nothing but vanity in them, man. It's all worthless. They're not. I didn't learn anything until Yahweh Shemi Awashai put the spirit on me and led me to the right prophets and the right teachers. Right. So we always walk in that course. According to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Right. So we always being disobedient. Right. Not following the law, statutes, commandments, not even trying, believing they was done away with, but believing that we can be saved no matter what name you call on, believing that everybody can be saved. Right? These are all false doctrines, man. And we all was walking that course at some point in time in our life. Right? So to the ones that's new to this, right, the Lord has quickened us, right, by bringing you to our videos, by bringing this truth out to you, right, by putting the spirit on you to be able to hear and to receive, right, the truth. Verse 3, among whom also we all had our conversations in time past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. Right, so we were just like the heathens, man. Right, trying to fulfill the lust of the flesh, the lust of your mind, the things that you want, instead of trying to fulfill the things of the Most High, right, and His Son, right, stuck in that Gentile state of mind. And our people are so stiff necked, they don't see that. They think, they're in a good case because they lean on their own understanding. They lean on their own doctrine. They lean on doctrines of men. Verse 4, but Yahweh, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, man. And anybody who really truly believes in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh shall understand that his love can't be matched by anybody. Right? He is the God of war. He is the God of armies. He is the God of love. He is the God of destruction. He is the God of everything you could think of. Right? But through that love, right, we are rich in mercy, right, because of the faith. Because the laws, statutes, commandments won't save you, right? But they will, help you practice and help you and basically give you a good rapport as well, right? Because everything is counted, the good and the bad, right? So if you have the proper mindset, you'll understand that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has us in the grace period right now, right? And the only way through this is by calling on the proper true names and having a abundance of faith. Without that faith, right, you have nothing. So it's a few things you need. You need that ultimate faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? You need the works as well. The faith without works is dead, right? But not to the point where you should be boasting about it, as the scriptures say, right? But just do the work. You don't need to boast, right? It's already being boasted, right, through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Verse 5, even when we were dead in sins, hath quickened us together with Yahushua Mashiach. By grace ye are saved, right? So without this grace, man, we would have been destroyed, right? That's going back into that love, being rich in mercy, right, from Yahweh, right? If he didn't have that love for us, right, it wouldn't be no mercy, it wouldn't be no grace, right? It wouldn't be no Yahushua Mashiach, right? But he sent his only begotten Son, so for us to be able to make it into the kingdom, right? To wash away our sins, right? So that way we can be presented to Yahweh, right? Without spot, without blemish, right? Without gall in our mouth, right? Verse 6, and have raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places. in Yahushua Mashiach, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness towards us through Yahushua Mashiach. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahweh. Right, so that's the gift, right? First and foremost, the true gift is Yahushua, and through that, right, it's the faith, right? That's the true gift, right? Yahushua, and then him teaching us the faith part of it, right? Because he understood the laws wouldn't save us, right? So he taught faith, right? He preached faith. He pushed faith, because while we're in this grace period, the faith will be able to save you, as we just read. For by grace, verse 8, are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, right? Because you ain't got nothing to do with it, right? This is a gift from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? It was a gift for him sending Yahushua to build up our faith and to give us more understanding and give us more wisdom and give us more hope and give us more mercy and grace, right? So from there, let's jump to Romans real quick. Come on, phone. Romans chapter 3. We're going to start off at 5. And it reads, but if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yahweh, what shall we say? Is Yahweh unrighteous, who taketh vengeance? I speak as a man, right? And Paul, he done that a couple times, right? It says, basically speaking to you so he can relate to you so you'll understand things, right? Just like the whole doctrine about multiple wives, when he was saying you can have, let every man have his own wife and let every woman have his own husband, right? It was just like today. It's a lot of confusion because our people was raised up in a Gentile state of mind, not understanding that, yes, it's okay for men to have multiple wives, because nobody was ever conflicted for that, right? The only time they was got in trouble is when they took somebody else's wife, as far as the man goes, right? So with that being understood, Paul was basically like telling people, like, hey, look, chill out. When he was writing to the 7 churches of Asia Minor, hey, chill out. Y'all doing too much bickering, right? Just for now, just until y'all receive the whole understanding, since y'all was brought up in the Gentile state, right, with the heathen way. When they came up with that word cheating, right? A man can't be a cheater unless he takes another man's wife. Well, it ain't even, you just being a thief at that point. But so Paul was writing to them, like letting them know, like, hey, look, let everybody just have their own wife and husband for now. Basically, that's why he said I was speaking to you with permission and not by commandment, right? Because it's not a commandment that you have to have one wife, right? But in today's time, right, because we are in Esau's system and our women are brought up in that mindset, so to save face and to keep yourself from all the stress, just deal with one woman right now, or don't deal with them at all, right? That's what Paul was saying. So at this point, he's letting you know this pretty much the same thing. I speak as a man, right? Like I said in verse 5. But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yahweh, what shall we say? Is Yahweh unrighteous, who take a vengeance? And people have that mindset, right? Why would the Most High kill kids and let little children get raped and murdered, right? Not understanding that this is whatever Yahweh Bashim Yahushua allows to happen or makes happen, right? It was his will, period, right? And you have to have the understanding that reincarnation is real. There's no telling what them people did in their previous life. So as soon as he sent them back, they have to serve out their judgment, and sometimes that's most of the time that's part of their judgment, right? So we have to have that understanding. But again, we can't lean onto our own understanding because we don't think how he thinks, as the scriptures say, roughly paraphrase. It says, verse 6, Yahweh forbid, for then how shall Yahweh judge the world? For if the truth of Yahweh have more abundance through my lie unto his glory, Why yet am I also judged as a sinner, and not rather, and this wasn't even the precept I was looking for, but we'll ride it out for a second, and not rather as we be slanderous reported, and as some affirm that we say, let us do evil, that good may come. Who damnation is just, right? And we already know Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, damnation is just, man. Everything that comes from him is just. Right. So I'm gonna end it there because I wasn't I actually grabbed the wrong precept. But let's go to the precept I was looking for. Romans 10. Let's lock you for that. Romans 10:13. And it reads, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Right. So if you don't know his name, how can you be saved? It doesn't make any sense. Right? You have to know his name. You have to call on his name to be saved. And that's the ignorance of our people. They leaning on their own understanding, right? Lacking the faith, right? When they see the prophets out on the streets in their garments, teaching and bringing out this truth, right? They lean onto their own understanding, their own feelings, right? Because they see with their eyes instead of hearing with their ears, right? Seeing, oh, these just some young cats out here looking like whatever. And like people like to say bums. I think we be looking fresh, but you out here looking like a bum, right? They don't want to hear nothing we got to say, right? When we're telling them the proper names to call on, right? We trying to lead them to salvation, but they lean on to their own understanding, right? And for one, and for two, they don't. They're not praying to the proper true in the proper true names, right? Which is going to lead them to destruction because they're not praying for the wisdom. They're not praying for the proper teachers for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to lead them to the proper teachers to for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because that's how you receive the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You can't receive it without it, right? So it says, verse 14, how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? Right. So if you don't believe in Yahushua, you don't believe that's his name, right? How you gonna call on him? How you gonna be saved? Right? You don't believe in the name. You don't believe in him. You believe in the image that they set up in the churches, with this man with straight hair, with pale skin and green eyes or blue eyes, right? With brown or blackish hair. When the scripts described him totally different, right? Calling and scriptures, right? Basically put a different name. They put a different name in there, a watered down name, right? And that was all set up to be a stumbling block, as the Most High said, right? Because everybody ain't finna be saved through this destruction, man, right? He set up stumbling blocks everywhere. But for the elect, right, he gave them the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, so they can call on the proper true name, so they can be saved, right? It says, and how shall they, how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? Right. So without the preacher, right, preaching the true name and preaching the true doctrine, how can they be saved? Right. So that's why we continue to do this work. That's why we out on the highways and byways weekly, right? 365. Right, all year round, basically, right, in season, out of season, right, bringing out this truth. Because if we don't bring this truth out, how y'all gonna learn his true name, right? How y'all gonna learn about him, right? So that's why we do this. Verse 15, and how shall they preach except they be sent? Right. So if anybody who's out here pushing this truth, right, about the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans being the Israelites, about Yahweh being the true name of the Most High, and Yahweh Shai being the true name of his only begotten Son, right? How are they going to be preachers, right? Because they wasn't sent. The true people that were sent, right, are calling on the proper true names, and they're teaching the proper true names and the proper doctrine, right? So people that you find in these pastors that you find in the church ain't the right preachers. So how shall they preach except they be sent? Right? Them men was not sent. As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. Right? So it's a beautiful thing to see us out there in our beautiful garments, right? Bringing out this gospel, man. But they have not all obeyed the gospel, and that's the reason why I was doing this lesson, man. Because y'all don't obey the gospel. For one, y'all don't know the true names, and not for everybody. I'm just saying for the ones that are watching this video and that are new to this, right? Who don't have the proper true names and may not fully believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai just yet, right? Hopefully, Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, Bahashim Yahushai, because we always got to ask in Yahushua's name, right? That this lesson is edifying and it can lead you to the truth and lead you to call on the proper true names so that way you can be led to salvation, right? But our people are disobedient, man. But they, verse 16 again, but they have not all obeyed the gospel. Right? You can't obey the gospel if you don't know the gospel. You can't obey the gospel if you're not being taught by the proper teachers. Right? For Isaiah, right, which is Isaiah saith, Lord, who have believed our report? And so then faith cometh by hearing, and by hearing by the word of Yahweh. Right? So you have to hear this truth, right, from the proper true teachers. Right? So the main thing is you need to pray for it. Pray for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? So let's jump to Matthew real quick. I only got a couple more precepts. Matthew 21 and 22. And it reads. It's like that's chapter 22. Come on, phone. All right. Matthew chapter 21. Oh my goodness. Verse 22. So like the phone a little raggedy, y'all. Bear with me. Verse 22. And it reads. And all things whatsoever ye ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. Right? So once you learn the proper true names, right? Pray for more wisdom. Pray for more guidance. Pray for more healing. Pray for more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Pray for the proper be led to the proper teachers. Right? Pray for salvation. Right? Pray for forgiveness. And pray for more faith and hope and mercy. Right? Because if you don't have the proper true names, your prayers ain't being heard. Right? If you don't pray through Yahushua, your prayers ain't being heard. Right? As it says again, verse 22, in all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. So if you believe what you pray for, you shall receive. Right? Because nothing is impossible for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Let's go to Luke 1, verse 37. And it reads, for with Yahweh, nothing shall be impossible. Right? So nothing is impossible for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. So if you're lacking faith, pray in the proper true names for more faith, right? Because that is a gift. And if he's not blessing you with that faith, he's not blessing you with that gift. All right? So you have to pray for these things, right? Because nothing is impossible. Right? Let's jump back to Matthew 21 again. We're gonna read further down. Right, Matthew 21:19. It says, and when he saw it, right, it's just an example I want to bring out for you all. It says, and when he saw a fig tree, it's Yahushua, in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto it, right, this is the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. Right. So as soon as he said that, the tree just started withering away. Right. So of course the disciples, got excited, like they watching this. Right. Verse 20, it says, and when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, how soon is the fig tree withered away? Like, dang, that happened quick. We ain't never seen nothing like that before. right? Yahweh Shai, right? Because there wasn't no letter J's back then, right? And that's a watered down form of Greek, anyways, right? Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, verily, which means truly, I say unto you, doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if ye shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. So see the power that we have as Israelites, right? We can do the same thing that Yahweh Shah did, right? But without the faith, right? Without true faith, as it says, verily I say unto you, if ye have faith, right? If you have the true faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, call on the proper true names and with the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right? In sincerity and in truth, right? You'll be able to move mountains, man. You'll be able to do the same thing Yahweh Shai did, right? So you have to build up your faith. Pray for these things. Pray for the faith, right? Pray for the understanding. Verse 22. In all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. So you'll receive these things in prayer as long as your faith is airtight, man, right? As long as your faith is top notch. So if you lack in faith, you're gonna lack the power, right? And when you lack the power, there's nothing left for you but destruction, right? So from there, let's jump to Hebrews. We're gonna go to chapter 11. We'll start from the top, and it reads, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for." Right. So this is the gift that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai blessed us with, right? Which is the faith, which is substance of things hoped for, right? So the things you need and want in life, the things that you hope for, like salvation on the day of destruction, right? Faith gives you that hope, right? And wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Faith gives you that, right? But you have to ask for it, right? You have to believe it, right? You can't be lukewarm believing it. You have to believe it truly, right? Verse 2. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Right? So through faith understand the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, man. Right? So through faith, man, you have to have this faith to even understand what's going on around you, because without the faith you won't have the wisdom not to understand it, to understand where you live at, right? To understand the history in the scripture, to understand that these people have, right, that the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has set these people up to basically whoop our behinds, right? Because we're on punishment, right? He put us on punishment right now, right? But you have to have the understanding that, hey, look, once we're almost done with our punishment, and that Yahweh Shai will be here soon in the chariots to come pick us up, right? So most of our people are stuck in that worldly mindset, right? Not understanding the truth, and that's going to lead them to destruction, right? So you have to, faith is the things, like it says, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, right? So these, which is Yahweh, right? You have to have faith in the Most High Yahweh, man, right? Because you haven't seen him in your lifetime. You haven't saw him yet, right? You can feel him, right? For the ones that are truly his children, you can feel him because we have the zeal of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? But a lot of us don't have it through knowledge, right? So he dwells, right? His spirit is in you, but it's dormant because you're set for destruction, right? So for those who don't, who have faith and don't want to be caught up in that destruction, right? You need to, build your faith even more. You need to pray for that. You need to pray for more wisdom, pray for more mercy, pray for more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Pray for the proper teachers to teach you. Right? It's a lot to be praying for, right? These things we beg for. That's what prayer means. We begging for these things, right? Because it's the evidence of things not seen, right? Because Anything you can't, if you believe in something that you don't see, but you know it's there, right? That's true faith, right? We know the Most High is right above us, man. Right? He created all of this, right, through Yahweh Shai and the rest of the angels, right? He created Yahweh Shai as the first angel, right? We didn't see that happen, right? So you have to have that faith that it did happen, and you have to have that faith that you know we have the evidence for one that it happened through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Right. So I'm gonna end it there. Yahweh Rat Tazah. This lesson was edifying again. Faith is the gift, right? And it's the substance of things hoped for, right? And the evidence of things not seen. Right. So keep the faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Pray for wisdom, pray for knowledge and understanding, pray for mercy, pray for forgiveness, repent, right? And stay strong in this truth, right? And for those who are new, keep doing the work, right? Which means keep researching, right? Because his hand it has always been extended, right? But when the day comes, when he draws back his hand after he, separates the sheep from the goats, right? It's gonna, you can be caught up in the lake of fire in that day of destruction of the ICBMs, right? So, do the work by studying and researching and reading and keep the faith. Shalom and a hapatah.